Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Holy. Let's switch over. Let's switch to some lo-fi hip hop. We're doing a chill, slow stream. We're not rushing through this build. It's gonna take us a little bit. We've got some figuring out to do today. Oh, my captions aren't working. And there we go. Captions sorted. As you can see, but I'll reveal to the camera in a second. Let's get one thing out there real quick. We hit 300 followers on Twitch. Our new goal is 310 followers. And I am very, very thankful that we hit 300 followers. And I did a little thing on Saturday to say thank you. And I feel like I need to, again, say thank you to everyone who has followed the channel, everyone who has raided in, everyone who's followed for me being in other chats. I appreciate it. I really do. And to celebrate hitting 300 followers, this is our 300 follower celebration. So I should actually put it in the title as well. So 300 follower celebration. Building Pokemon Charizard Dragonite models. There we go. So people know it's a celebration. Congrats. We hit 300. Let me put the boys on display real quick for the next scene when we transition over. They can sit there in the background. There we go. So yeah. Sorry I didn't stream yesterday. I'm gonna be honest. I planned to stream yesterday during the day and was too tired. And then when it came to the evening, I'd forgotten that I'd already made plans. So usually I play Borderlands with some boys. With the boys. On a Friday night. And one of them happened to cancel. So we were like, right, we'll reschedule for Sunday. And I might have forgotten until one of them messaged an hour and a half before. And at that point I was like, oh yeah. So I postponed the stream. Sunday, the stream schedule I've set up is very, very flexible. There are some hardcore days that I'm not going to stream on at all. I will be featuring other people's streams, or I will do bonus day streams, which will be day trades. So expect a daytime stream tomorrow. No, don't expect a daytime stream tomorrow. Tell a lie. I have plans tomorrow. Whoops. My bad. Making plans and completely forgetting that I already have prior commitments, so I can't be doing that one. Not doing that. Not doing that one at all. I'm just gonna turn this down a tiny bit. There we go. So sorry, I just realized I was peaking my mixer a little bit. Whenever it hits orange, it means it's peaking, and I need to be aware of that. There's the model that this mixer uses, this Focusrite, to tell you that you're peaking. I don't like, because my voice peaks it quite easily. So I'm slowly dialing it in, compared to like other mixers where it's like the 3 dots thing where I can just keep talking and then really, really dial it in really nice and fine. This, it's a twisting knob, and I don't really like it for trying to dial in my audio. It's really not conducive for how I want my audio to be. So really pee me off, because this is also a very directional microphone. So I'm going to try and adjust this today to sit sort of in front in a general area and hope it just picks me up enough. But, you know, it's also supposed to be a microphone that you sit here and you talk quite casually into, but I don't regulate my voice very well, so I'm not going to be doing that. What was I saying? Yeah, so tomorrow there may be a stream, depending on the time of the day. Tomorrow will be Ghost of Tsushima if we do stream. But I don't have a guaranteed time as to when. Because tomorrow on Tuesdays, we're over on Kipperman's channel, on Kip's channel, where we are assisting him through his Elden Ring playthrough. So guiding him around the map, doing quests and all sorts. This is Maiden. Wednesday is Warhammer Wednesday. We've got more high level runs. We are changing up the gear that we're leveling, so we'll be doing some low level runs to get that up, and then doing some high level runs with optimal gear. So we're pushing some gear to its max potential. And then Thursday Thursday, I believe, is a regular stream, but Thursday might also be one that's off, simply because I might have plans. I'm not 100% sure. Friday's definitely off because Friday's Borderlands. Saturday, my family comes home, so maybe stream during the day. Depending on if Tuki Tuki T is free, we might do some more co-op RimWorld. Might see if we can try and add Twitch chat into that one. I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know if it works with shared chats for naming people. And then having TTS, but only I will be able to hear that, so maybe not, because I don't think that's going to be fair on Tuki at all. Sunday is definitely Ghost of Tsushima, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be doubling up on the content we're doing, because on Sunday, fresh announcement, on Sunday the 10th, I will be starting my Voices of the Void week. So I will be streaming every day for about 5 hours a day, where we will be playing Voices of the Void with custom content that I'm going to go and message people about today to see if they want to put into my game. So audio recordings, short advertisements, any alien videos, and then I will be opening up to stream, so people will be able to add those videos as well by going into my Discord or doing channel point redeems. So yeah, that's the plan, at least. Whether that works or not, I don't know. So, without further ado, let me get to the elephant in the room. This is what we're building today. I'm hoping if I get it just right, the YouTube thumbnail will pick this up. Good. This is what we're building today. It is a... I don't know what the term for these sets is. Coloured in plastics, no tools and no glue needed. It's just a little model kit for... It's from Bandai. It's a little model kit of Charizard and Dragonite. So, I've had my eye on this for a while. It's not too expensive. I've got a couple more of these sorts of things I want to build. Like some Gundams. There's other Pokemon ones I want to get as well. So I might put an order in and get a bunch of them. And we do like another stream of this. But this is our 300 follower celebration. I went out and got this. And there's potentially another stream coming up where I stream me building a Lego bonsai tree from work. But I need to speak to work about that first. Hello, Amma. Amma, I don't know if I fixed my text-to-speech bot, so feel free to try it, and I'll try and refund you if it doesn't work. I think I refunded you the other day. Work stream. A stream from work, but not a work stream. I will be building Lego at work because it is Lego that will live at work. I bought a Lego bamboo plant, Lucky Bamboo. So, you know, I thought it'd be nice to have in the office now that hopefully when I go back, our office will be renovated.
Love free TTs.
There we go. That's working. That's definitely sounded like it was working to me. That was 110% working. What I need to do, though, is go to my alerts. My one alert box. I need to edit it. I'm going to need to turn the sounds off on all of it. Celebration, fireworks, lights, visuals and sounds. Turn that off. Save changes. There we go. It's working, but the alert sound plays over the TTS. Oh no, I've just turned that off. That's it's a thing. It's a Twitch thing. Just to have it pop up. Look at this like beam of light I've got behind me here. This is crazy. This is like blowing me out completely. Sheesh. There, that worked. That's fine. Not now. I don't need to edit that. That's all done. That can be ticked. Awesome. So that's working again. I don't know what I did to make that work, but I fixed it, which is all that matters. That we have reached the time in the day, which is why I don't stream at this time of the day, where if I was to be sat in my bed, that would blind me. So There is nothing I could do about the beaming light that is coming into my room because the sun has now reached that point in the day where it's going to light up my bedroom, which is why I don't have my lights on typically, and I usually sit in this level darkness. The light's blowing me? Hell yeah, it is. So, there we go. I usually sit in darkness. I got called out for that recently, so I'm going to get some coloured lights. This solution that I have right now is an imperfect solution that's annoying me because every so often it moves, and when it moves, I get blinded by the light. So we're not having that. I'm not being blinded. I want an actual lamp that sits in this corner that lights me up with some actual colour, so I can have it plugged in. There's a way with Govee where you guys can redeem channel points and change the colour. So, gonna look into that. Possibly have to do it with Philips Hue. I don't know. I would like it to be Govee. Anyway, I believe I have now stalled long enough. And I don't think I talked about this on the other stream. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I can't remember. But I've added some extensions under the stream that are channel point based. Not channel points. The other one, bits. That are bits based. That allows you to throw things at me. Or put stickers on me. There's one of these things that I need to remove. Because I don't want to have it with like Cupid's Arrow, Bouquet, Fine Pizza, Snowball, Sumo Wrestler, Jack-o'-lantern, Piggy Bank, Bra, a Kiss, Dynamite, Dart, Shurikens, Viruses. But it's got one which is Sing a Song. Now that I don't want. Unless it's you can send a message that is TTS. But I didn't enable that. So that's a thing that people can do. There's also one for stickers. And any stickers you put on the stream will also play noises. If you have bits, you can put them wherever you like on the stream, and that should be on every scene. Should be in the intro, should be on the webcam, should be in the games, and it should be on my other one I've done. I've redone the commands underneath the stream as well. I've changed up the custom commands that explains what everything does. So there's a death counter for games. There is a sorry command that publishes an apology. Playing Terraria right now, struggling with the Twins and Prime. Ooh, fun. I haven't played Terraria in a long time. I've never beaten Terraria because after a certain point, I feel like that game just completely drops off for me. I just have no idea. Why is exclamation mark sorry working? Exclamation mark sorry is a stream elements command. Hello, stream elements. What is this? Where's my stream elements command gone? Stream elements, hello, you home? Knocking on the door. Log in. Why did it log me out? I wanted to go to my dashboard. I've been logged out of stream elements. Why have I been logged out of stream elements? Ugh. Stream elements is... Sorry for oversleeping this. Okay. It's a good job I didn't change this over. Yeah. So you can't see what I'm typing. My stream elements just decided to do one, I guess. Chat commands. Custom commands. Exclamation mark. Oh, is it not? Oh, I'm going to change that then. When did that change? That should be... There we go. Now it's exclamation mark point sorry. So now if we do it again. Ammo, this one's for you. I'm not a good person. Anything I try to type out right now will be extremely emotionally charged. I've wronged many over the years through my words. When I return, I will address every person, especially those who have not yet said anything about me. My DMs are open. It's a very obscure meme, but it's a very funny meme. I love it. Right. Without further ado, let's switch over to... Where is it? Lego and Models cam. Ta-da! Done. So, I'm still here. You can still see me. Terraria is the one game I come back to and play vanilla all the time. Yeah, I played vanilla and I didn't beat it because there's a point where because there's so little guiding in it, I just have absolutely no idea. I then did try, what's that really popular one? Not Armageddon. What's it called? I'm gonna find it. Terraria mods. Terraria mods. Curse Forge. What's the most popular one? Calamity. That's it. Calamity and Calamity Endgame. Yeah. Total downloads is a better sign. Oh, these suck. A Link to Terraria, a themed pack. Ugh, these are terrible. Jesus Christ, get out of here. So I'm gonna try. One thing I have noticed with myself, turn this down a tiny bit, is that I move a lot more than I realized on stream. So I'm trying to get a hold of that. I kind of broke the glass on myself. Where did I get to? Beat Queen Bee. Beat the eyeball. Let me have a look. Because I did quite a few. Now stopped. Terraria bosses. So, beat King Slime. Beat Eye of Cthulhu. Beat Eater of Worlds. Don't know if I did Brain of Cthulhu. Did Queen Bee. Beat Skeletron. I've beaten Wall of Flesh once. I have beaten the twins. I then didn't beat the Destroyer. I don't think I beat Skeleton Prime, but I can't remember. Definitely beat Medusa. I fought Plantera. I don't think I beat Plantera. And that's it. I never made it to Moonlord. So one of the optionals I did fight and I beat it. I can't remember which one it was. Oh, maybe not. So, yeah, I played a fair bit in. Each of Worlds and Brain of Cthulhu are world dependent, yeah. See, I've done multiple worlds, I've done one and the other. That's the thing. So I played with both. I've done both. But I'm probably never going to go back to it. Not anytime soon. If I do, it's going to be modded again. Anyway. Let us begin. That can sit there for now. Hello, Ionic. How are you doing today? Oh, we have stickers. And where the stickers have to go as well. We have Charizard parts. And we have Dragonite parts. We'll put Dragonite aside for now. I'm going to do Charizard first. And then we have a whole bunch of instructions. Sorry, this is in the US. I'll create it in my house. Oh. From the US? Nick, are you not US based? We can't read Japanese. Which is going to be a disadvantage. So, this should be interesting. Explain the concepts. Let me move my mouse out of the way. You have to push things into. That's like way in too. A1 corresponds to each part. A1 and then 14. Okay, so we're not going to sticker these just yet. I'm from the UK. My relatives in the US are apparently stopping by because they're apparently going to visit other European places and all. Oh, cool. That's interesting. Nice that they're passing through and visiting. My cousins live in Australia and they come to visit on the rare occasion, and they were here last October. That's cool. Okay, so there's that bag. Go behind. And I think there is parts of this that maybe we need to open. I'm not sure. I've never built a model Well, to be fair, no, tell lies. I was about to say I've never built a mod like this. This is very similar to making Warhammer figures. But Warhammer figures require you to have tools for cutting bits off and clipping bits off. Apparently these should be push pop, push fit. So we need to look for all lettered perfectly. Starting at A118. A114 and 18. We want this. And just push inwards or outwards? Yeah. Stop. Do we want, I'll show you the options, chat room. Do we want a more zoomed in camera and I bring it all to here? Or do we want a more zoomed out camera where you can see everything? I'll let you pick because we can easily just switch between the two as I work on stuff. But, you know. This also requires us, like, straight away to be putting eye stickers on. I don't think it's told us to put the stickers on yet, so we're not going to do it just yet. Though we can figure out where they're going to go. So we're going to take the of that in there. You know what, we'll do zoomed in. We'll do a more zoomed in view. You get to see my ugly hands. You have 10 resource packs. Wow. And we have begun. So it's telling me already that I should be putting am I gonna fit on there? Or is it gonna hang off? Already telling me I made a mistake. It's also telling me I need to put this sticker here on straight away. Thank God I have this camera in front of me. Not easy. Close enough. Good enough. I'm not a perfectionist when it comes to my models. I'm going to be happy with it either way. Just fit that in. And that's done. Now we want A117 next to it. Here. So we're going to pull this over. We want this one here. Hey, camera, can you focus? Can I choose the focus point? There we go. This is a cool little setup, isn't it? We want this mouth. But now we have to put the dong. Bit dong. Yeah, got tongue done. So we actually need A119 now. I believe is this one. Yeah. And this should just push fit on here. This just fits. Yeah. Mouth opens and closes. Now we need A1 15 and 16. 15 and 16. These apparently just put together real nice and smooth. Then this slots inside the neck. So now we need the other card head. And it's just telling us now, once this is done, try and put the eyes in. Let's squash. Oh. Wait, I need to turn off focus manual. How do I get you to autofocus? Again. There we go. Right, let's try and put some eyes in this sucker. It's gonna be difficult. Where are my tweezers? I don't know where my tweezers are. My desk tweezers? No, that's my desk scissors. Don't know where my desk scissors are. No, my desk scissors. Back in a sec, chat room. I'm gonna find my scissors. Got them. Found them. I found them. Right. Left eye first. That was a pretty good install of an eye there, if I do say so myself. Let's do the next eye. There we go. Check it. Charizard. Gunzo. Head done. Got a head? Goes off opening and closing the mouth. So now, the head can sit over here, next to the tweezers. So now we're on to some firm, prime Charizard body. Prime Charizard body right now. Now we're looking for A221, which is and we're looking for B. B is on. Is B on this side? B over here. Is this bees? These are the bees. Ah, hello bees. Not the bees. Not the bees. Pop you back over here for now. And we're looking for B11. B1. Pop this sucker out here. Quick. Up. Up. Taking the sucker's big body. Putting this. Like. No. Like this. Guide here. Like this. Now on A1. Not 2. We're going to pop these off. I'm going to move my microphone slightly further forward so you can hear me better. I'm going to put it here because I think I'm going to be hunched over this stream. This has to go. Let's go on here. Way around maybe? Ah. Like that. That piece there. And then we need B1 number 2, which is here. Damn, that part fell out. Like that. It is? I think I just have to press it until it clicks. Which I couldn't hear it click because of where I am. I think that's right. It looks right. Now we're back on the A's. We're doing A220. A2. $22.20. This piece. Take this, put this on here like this. Like the book says. Now A1 number 1, which is these. Top here. Goes on the neck up here, pointing outwards. Then we need other fat ass body piece here. A222. This should just push fit right on. There we go. Now we have a body done. We can attach Charizard's fat neck. Oh yeah, boy. And then B211. We're putting on his little belly. Round? Right way round. Just done. Oh, push that back. That's why. This is already looking stellar. This is looking dope. So, B1 number 4. Yeah. Little Root Town. This is for my favourite Pokemon game. And then A112, which is this piece here. That's a tight fit. Oh, cool. Now I need B15. Yeah. And that makes... Ah! I haven't got the best hands for model making. But here we are. This now. What's in here? I might have put this piece on wrong because I think it's the neck's not going right. Did I put the neck on the wrong way around? No, there's no way to put the neck on wrong. Oh, I see. No, I don't. It's because I have put the neck on wrong. I put the neck on upside down. Lol. There's my tweezers. I was confused why he was looking so far upwards. Even with instructions, even reading them, when I'm streaming, I get so easily distracted that I just make mistakes. But we own our mistakes, because mistakes are how we learn. And every mistake is correctable. Better. I guess if we wanted him in a flying position, we could do it the other way. But there we go. A mistake has been learnt from and has been corrected. Then basically it tells us to do it again, but with the other arm. So this arm bit here, and the other thumb, which is on this board here. Go. Let's use my tweezers to push that in a bit further. There we go. Wicked. Probably press fit those a bit better. There we go. Cool. Done. No, we're far from done. So now we're on a part where it wants us to both put stickers on the feet so we'll do that while they're still on here. Oh, I don't like these. Stickers overhang the feet a bit. So we need A17, which is this piece, and A16 is this piece, and A19 6, 7, 9, and 10. 10. we just have to do this twice. So that foot presses onto there. One leg. And now we do the same again. Enjoy that DM. I will have a look at that in a bit, Kip. I am currently in focus building mode. As we put together some legs on a little guy. Camera's here. Who needs Pokemon card hits when you have that? Yeah, who needs any hits when you have a wingless Charizard? So now we are putting the tail together with the fire. So we have more stickers to do. A14 is this one. And we have to put sticker 10 on it. That looks terrible. Why would they make you do that? That's awful. Whatever. Like, the moment you go to press the sticker, it cracks all the sticker. I know you guys probably can't see it, but you'll see it in a second. The sticker's on. You probably can't see it too well. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Oh, you definitely can on the camera. The moment you start pressing the sticker down, all the parts, it starts to crack. This sticker also hasn't gone on correctly, so if I wanted to correct it, I'm going to do it in parts. Oh, I might have messed this one up permanently now. Oh, I definitely have. Nope, we're good. Maybe it's intentional, so you can like phase stick it down each spot. Either way, this looks terrible. Either way, this looks terrible. This sits on the end of... Because I think we're done with this piece now. We need this tail piece. And this tail piece. Bippity boppity boo. These two pieces should just somehow press together. Sits on top of the tail, so we just push fit these two parts together. This fire sticker looks absolute dog. It really does. It's so bad with the cracks. Whatever. Because we then take it, we shove it right up Charizard's backside. There we go. And now, we have 2 more really annoying stickers to do. For each wing. This is probably the entirety of the stream, by the way. Is me doing these and then we're done. Just like to put that out there. We're not doing a long stream today. We're not running late. How do I get this to line up? Away them. That, I guess. That's a pretty okay install, I'd say. Don't know how I did it. It's okay. Perfect. Never gonna be perfect. We strive for the best possible quality where we can get the best possible quality on this channel. We do not aim for perfection, because that would be a wasted effort. There we go. And here we go. Charizard. Done. The next is what looks to be like the infinitely more complex. Wait, want his mouth open. Charizard, what that mouth can do. There we go, mouth open. We want him like aiming up at you guys. He's looking up at you guys. His mouth's open. He's got his fists up. Maybe he raises one fist, he keeps one down. No, that looks a bit naughty. Oh, his wings can be like adjusted, like angle wise. That's cool. His tail can be adjusted with his legs, so you can have him like stand further forwards. I guess you then have to find the balance point for his feet so we can make that work. Because I want him to stand up on his own. So I want to have his tail down. That's cool. I thought it was going to be bigger, honestly. But that's still very cool. It's not that big. He's now going to sit off. Where can we keep him for now? We'll stick him up in this corner. This, you know. We'll lie him down. He can go there. I'm now going to take a second to read these DMs. Oh. Cool. Good DM. Right. Let's start. On a certain yellow dragon that is featured on so many of the VODs of my stream. That one. That I thought I'd build one. We're after that cozy lo-fi vibe today. We always start the stream high energy music, and then we roll it back into lo-fi calm vibes afterwards. So, this one, we actually start on B2 with the head. Go ahead. Ah. Godhead? Question mark. And the first thing we have to do is put flipping stickers on its eyes. Got a tiny little forehead bump. Oh. There we go. One. You'll notice it a lot on stream, especially today. I have very shaky hands. And the answer to that is yes, I do. A2, 23 and 24. 3. 24. It's fitting. Stay. The angle on these. I once had somebody question, very insensitively, after I was handing them something at work, if I had early onset Parkinson's because of the way my hands shake. That was an interesting conversation to have. Because they knew someone who was the same way as me. And they were like, you should get that checked. And I never did. I didn't take offense to it. I understood what they were saying. My hands at the time were especially shaky. Oh, you asshole. This is awful. Pokemon Lego? Not Lego, Tom, but sort of similar. More like Pokemon... Like how you do Warhammer models. Push fit models. There is Pokemon Lego kits. I do have a Lego Gengar, but it's not like Lego, it's an unofficial Lego. Apparently Nintendo's working on Pokemon Lego. Also, Tom, whilst you're here, let me demo something. Let me do something. I think I set this up. If I select this, and I select you, and I say forced, and I give you the alias of Cowboy, any message you now type, Tom, will be read out to me. Let me have this tiny head done now. Cute, tiny little dragon head. Done. A2 21. Yeah.
Talkie Talkie said, well, howdy, darling.
Don't think I need it saying the the first bit, but you know, we play with it. So B2, no, B1, number 2. So this is how I do the remote stuff that I was talking about, that I messaged you about. Oh.
You have given me something that I can have way too much fun with, Laurel.
Well, that was the point. I want you to have fun with it. I want you to play with it so you can understand what my goal is for it. Put that like that. And put that down, because now we have to do some wings. You can even do the gosh darn dude and rude and toot and stuff, and it'll pick it up.
I'm a cowpoke, 'cause I like poking cows. Ew.
But it did not get yeehaw out of that at all. Usually it's pretty good about that, but I think it's the model that I'm using, language model. B28. So there's a guy called Charborg. There we go, yeehaw. There's a guy called Charborg who did a video with Twitch chat, and he had them talking, and it's honestly one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. So funny. Like, he has a dog in it, and he makes it. They say they're not allowed to fail RP if they're playing their characters, like the dog. The dog's just going borf 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 borf. It's so funny. Oh, that's correct. So now we're on B210. Now on B29. Ah. And B to 11. It locks that entire mechanism in place. Then B to 1. Okay. Then B1 3. It's not like my idea and how I got it working is an original idea. I'm just saying that now. Oh, idiots. Like that. That's the tail.
Charizard is kissing your desk.
He is kissing my desk. True. Oh, no, I need to do the other wing. I don't recognise the song. The city.
Sorry, missed that. What did you say?
Yes, he is kissing my desk. I don't recognise the song. Or the city. The name of the city is Humilau City. City I don't recognise from Pokemon. The one I don't recognise. But yeah, this isn't an original idea for this TTS stuff. I got it entirely from a video from a guy called Charbug, who I watch quite frequently. I just realised how he actually did the thing that he did. The way he does it. Okay. And now I have to put on a little dragon belly from A222, which is this. A nice little song though. It's a jaunty little tune. Right. So I've been doing this completely out of the way of the camera. Hey, it's me, VTuber Ducks. I'm the new VTuber. Ignore the man in the corner. It's only me now with my stubby arms. Lol. Now we got some featsies to do. But like last time, we have to put stickers on the feetsies. On the little tootsies. Oh, I just realised I didn't do something when I put the head on. Right, one second, pull that off. One thing we need to do, where the tweezers. I'm just leaving that over there because it's easier. There we go. Tongue's in. Tongue's done. Now we do the feats. (18 to 18, 17 to 17). Got it. Why don't they put the feats in? The toes even. Confuses me. Either way, we are here, so we need B2, 5, and 6. That's 7, which goes on 18, which goes on like so. Goes on 7 and 5. There we go. This song's called Broiled Magikarp. Wait, I just realized I read out the name of the song before. I didn't need to. On the stream. Bedded. One egg done. That plastic piece is done with. Boom, 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 boom. This song's good vibes. Whoa, his leg came off. So Tom, have fun with your newfound power while you have it. You're not keeping it permanently. Also, I'd love to give it you permanently. A to 19, so these are both 19, so it doesn't matter. Same. Twice.
Oh, I will just distract it by something else. ATM.
Fair enough. How's work? How's your office renovation going? Oh.
All right, office is great. We'll get a photo tomorrow.
Ooh. bit of an odd one, this. The arm doesn't feel like it fits on because there's no connecting piece. So I have to push it in and hope that it's in. Oh, there we go. I got it. You do the same on the other arm. These arms are weird. I'm probably doing a lot of this all out of frame of the camera. It's just trying to focus on this through the camera. It'd be difficult to do. These little leggies. No leftover stickers. It's literally just the tail now. Zach Bob, welcome in. Hope you're having a good evening. Or a good Monday. A wonderful Monday. And there we go. Big Stardew vibes. Yeah, this is nature's crescendo. There we go. Wah! His arms are up and his arms open his mouth. And then this one. Charizard. There we go. Hello, hello. I kind of don't know what to do now, because I did not expect this to be as quick as it was. Been about an hour. I still feel like I've got about another hour's worth of streaming me, unless I leave and just go and watch a movie. Or maybe I look at some of these other models, these Bandai models, and see if maybe I order one today. Do we... No, because there's a chance I'll accidentally show my address. I don't want to do that. I don't want to deal with that fuss. But here they are. Really tiny. Teeny tiny. But they're all done and sorted. We could build Tyranids. Not Warhammer Wednesday. We have no reason to build Tyranids. We don't need to be building Nids today.
They look great.
They do look. They look so good. The only thing I wish. I think I got it. I want a Dragonite's mouth open. I need to find the angle so he stands on his own. There we go. The phone doesn't know where to put the autofocus, so the Charizard's slightly out of focus for the two of them. I don't quite know what to do now. Tom, are you going live tonight? Are you streaming tonight? Or are you taking tonight off? Because if you're streaming tonight, go live now.
Taking tonight off.
Damn it! Damn! Taking tonight off.
Need an early night, lol.
Wow. Damn. I don't know what to do now. We've done this. Do we switch to playing demos? Do we play some Ghost of Tsushima for an hour? I'm not going to jerk off on stream. The temptation's there, but I don't want to do it.
Sadness.
I don't know what to do.
Create an OnlyFans.
Create an OnlyFans. I'm not making an OnlyFans. We could do some Balatro. We do some evening Balatro. Being that we finished the Pokemon models. Will it know the title? Yeah, we'll do some Balatro. So, 300 follower celebration. PKMN models built. Now we Balatro.
Yeah, do some gambling. That's not gambling.
Yeah. Right, let me reorganize my desk a tiny bit. Let's put this over here. Ow. We'll sit these guys like this. And then if I go to my game scene, do I already have a capture for these? Where's the webcam? No. Game captures? No. App captures? No. Backdrop? Epoch cam. We'll just put these up here. There we go. And now we'll launch some Balatro. Balatro. Oh, I wasn't looking to Steam. Also, this Epoch cam.
Don't know if it's me, but your mic seems quite quiet today.
I turned it slightly down and I'm not talking as loud. Usually I would talk a lot louder. Today I'm not talking as loud. I'm trying not to have it peak. So I turned the gain down a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. I am also not been focused directly into it.
Fairs. I'm also probably deaf.
That too, that too. I can't get this to line up the way I want it to. There we go. Balatro's completely obliterated the Epoch cam backdrop. No, I didn't want it in the webcam scene. Or group. Good enough. It's good enough. I have so many audio sources on this. I'll leave Epoch Cam for now. Discord, Dark Tide can go for now. Just so I can see everything and see what my audio levels are like. See what needs turning up, what needs turning down, everything. So playing with perishables, and I need to get high scores. So I get extra money. So first shop. So I want pairs of face cards. The booster pack is skipped. Yeah, we'll take it. You get bonuses for pairs. Now slightly. We just want to throw away all our low cost cards. I probably could have played one better. I'm not overtly thinking about what I'm doing. No. Straight flush, no. Looking for face cards. Glass will do. We get +3 malts. We skip any of these. Should have skipped the first one. Did you see the message? The one about with the picture? Yes, I did. I did just see the. I only saw that picture one, Kip. You responded, and then you sent me a picture of a frog's ass. It's not a bad start, I'll be honest. This isn't an awful start. That's a good buy. Even if it is only for a short amount of turns. We can play any pair and benefit from it. Oh, bashing my arm on my mic then. We need a better Malta, and we also need cheapest one to discard, so we can up that real quick. Doubles money, lucky cards, bonus cards. Nope. Take the malt. Only one hand. Oh, this sucks. Does that make it? I don't think it does. We'll see. Oh yeah, it should do. Scary into maths then, and we also lost out on a card shop use. Does have a face card we skip? Oh, that's a good one. Right, this could be hard now. I'm relying too heavily on card chop right now, so I'm gonna get screwed over in a second when this goes. 50 chips. So we need spade face cards. we're not gonna get anything to replace that, and we didn't hit on that card. Then it's gonna suck when this run dies. 3 of a kind, malts. We could get malt on this real quick. Mercury. No, we'll do this. This is greater. Running this runs into the ground anyway. So 12 malt plus chips. That sucks. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. 3, 4, 7. Aiming for a 2 pair. Oh, is he not worth anything now? He's worth 3. So we have a lot of malt now. That sort of saves us for a round. Oh, we should have took better probabilities then, damn. So that's going to keep going up. Exactly 4 cards doesn't work for us. We can't afford anything else. Pray? We'll do this. It's not going to help us anyway, because we lose out on all that malt. But maybe, just maybe, with our final discard, I think this one was dead anyway. Oh no, we live. Holy shit, how are we still alive? How are we still alive? We might have to skip both these packs. Just to get... Oh, we're dead. We're dead. Maybe we're not dead? No, I think we're definitely dead. I don't think there's any way we pull ourselves out of this. Nah, okay. Maybe going back straight into an orange stake for yellow deck wasn't the plan, wasn't the play. So Extra Joker slot's not bad. Well, this sucks ass, but we should be fine. We're just simply looking for another diamond flush. That we hope pays off enough to hit 600. It was risky. It was risky, I'll admit. That was risky. If hand contains a pair, let's go. I guess we do another pair run. Or we do a 2-pair run. 2-pair run it is. Four of a kind. That's not the run I ideally wanted, but I'll take what I can get. That has a pair in, so we should be fine. That has a pair in, so we should be fine. We're just fishing for that last jack. And we didn't get it. The family probably isn't going to be the one that we want to do. We can't afford it anyway. Pair or 2-pair? Pair or 2-pair? 2-pair. This sucks. Technically has a pair in it, so it's fine. Full house has 2 pairs in it. Screw you, the family. I guess we just don't need you. Oh, permanently game +1 hand. The end goal is to work towards the family. We just need to fill slots with it. Choose 2. Four cards, 2 pairs, and then 4 of a kinds is the goal. Go for a straight. Need to play 4. Okay, we got the order correct now. We need to start making 4 of a kinds. Oh, each played 5 of hearts gives 2 times more when scored. Card changes every round. Or that could help us get 2 pairs. Oh, I should just play the other 2 cards. I keep messing this up. I can keep getting Square Joker up easily. Square Joker would get up quite easily by just messing about. We're never going to be getting the family to work. I don't think. Not in this run. It was a nice idea. Because we don't want to discard, we just want pairs and 2 pairs. We'll take Spectral. Oh, this worked out brilliantly. Let's play a high card. Wow. And now we get a high card doubled as well. So high card, 3 ways we can play this deck. Three of a kind. We'll do 2 Arcanas. Lucky, gold, steel. We'll turn these into luckies. The steals will be nice, low steals. Spades. Left card into right card. It's a good 2-pair lineup. $12.999. We only have $2, so we can't get planet cards. We also can't get the spectral pack as much as I would like it. The family is just there for when we eventually work our way around to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to start enhancing some cards. We really do. But we can just beat this with pairs. Pairs stronger. Planet cards, Queen, fine use. Oh, 2 pair. And pair. The 2 things we want from this. Use $1 per play card? Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, maybe it's really bad for us. This should be fine. Oh, none of those 3 landed on a chance to get me money. Goddamn. And then we've got 2 high cards. Not the end of the world, high cards. Would have been nice to get money from that king. We'd like to duplicate that king if we can. First play face cards give 2 times malt. That would be doing more constantly than the family, which is worth 4. But then we still can't afford it. High card's now worth 7k. We got that money hit too. We got that money hit, we got Uranus growing. We're growing to Uranus. Oh, now that is good value. If we can... Damn. We'll increase the rank of these to 9s, 9s and kings. How much does a high card get us? 14k? That's great. That's stellar. Especially in that we're just not using discards right now. Because we don't want to decrease Green Joker. Let's see what we can get. I think 2 pairs the better one, because we can get high cards up quite easily. Let's see what we can get Joker-wise from in here. No, not worth it. Each card drawn face down after each hand played. This is gonna suck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that sucks. We hit that 20 mult though, and we got 2 pairs out of it, so we're surviving. We're not thriving, but we are surviving. Accidental surviving run. Steel cards. Looking for a king or a 9. Perfect king. We can turn our aces into steel cards. So all aces should be steel cards. We want kings, we want 9s. 4 of a kind. We can't afford anything here anyway. Only one hand's gonna suck. So, we need to play one hand that's a 2-pair that contains 2 lucky kings. Can Spectral save us? That works for me. Looking for 2-pair. So we're going to play one hand. It has to be a 2-pair. Possibly. We'll see in a second. We have to play a 2-pair with luckies. Oh, we should have gone for the stealing hand too. Oh yeah, we're winning. We're winning. We're winning. This is where we lose, though. This is where it gets very difficult to ramp. So another steal. Another steal ace will do. We also have an extra joker slot that we should be using. We're only using 5 jokers. So we should buy a duff joker. One hand is 50k. That was an optimal hand. I can't afford anything, but we need to buy one more joker before the end of this blind. To sell. How does it look? How does this work out? This works out fine. Because we potentially get 2 pair levels out of this. Oh, 1 pair level. We're not going for much longer, but it's you finishing this and then we're probably ending stream because we'll cross over 2 hours. The stream's sort of a short one today. Damn! We need to buy Zany. Solely for the purpose of selling Zany. Hi, Zany. $23k. So, a nice good 2 pair here. And then we're looking for another 2 pair. This should do it. And that'll be red stake on green deck, on black deck done. Not a particularly hard one to do, I'll admit. We'll keep going. We'll just roll the run over. 9s or kings. Ooh, pretty good. Also pretty good. We'll take that. Making steals, duplicating 9s or kings. Left card into right card. You can get 14 out of that. No, this is more important. We want all our lucky kings. God, Blueprint would be so nice right now. God, are we actually going to level up pairs right now? By the looks of it, yes, we are going to accidentally level up pair twice. This is fine. We're now looking for another Joker to add into this. To make this work. Long term. I don't know what that would be. Chips for 2 pair. Aces, odd ranks. Todd can sit as a thing now. Raised fist would have to go early on. To get malted. So we're only getting 2 added because it's double the lowest rank. What we had 2 chips there. 2 pair wasn't very good. This should be better. Plus 9 malts. Plus 18 malts. 75k on that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we do like this. Looks like we're just building into pairs now. Whoopsie. We're trying to make as many of those 9s as possible and trying to make as many kings lucky as possible. By the looks of it. Really wants me to have discards. 2 random planet cards. Perfect. High card, backup, perfectly fine. We'll spend all our money because that's this game much further than this. Increase the rank of cards. Money. I think I take money on this one. So I can reroll. And then we stay because we should be fine. Playing a pair sets money to 0. We got 20 out of that. That was nice. And 20 malt. Hmm. 1, 2. Oh, it's going to set money to 0. We can survive with money on 0, can't we? I think. Did we do this? We set money to 0. Because we want to keep leveling 2 pair. Oh no, just pairs, just regular pairs now. The leveling them sucks ass. Doesn't actually do too much for what we're doing to everything else. Raised Fist is currently the one that we can get rid of. I don't think we get past this though. No, I don't think we get past this. I think this is it. I think this run's done. I think this run's cooked, chat. Yeah, round's cooked. Right. I've exhausted my entire plan for today's stream. So... yeah. Kind of stream, really? Very much cop-out stream. Sorry about that. I have to raid. If anybody else has anybody for us to raid, if not, I will be back on. I should be back tomorrow on Kip's stream, and I should be back on Wednesday for Warhammer Wednesday. I'm gonna switch back to. Hello? I lost my camera scene on Lego models cam. That's cool. No, Epoch cam doesn't belong in there.
See you in a bit.
I'm still trying to figure out how to put my bloody Epoch cam. There we go. No, put it in the wrong thing. It just won't go where I want it to. And transform, fit screen. There we go. See you in a bit, Tom. I'm gonna turn off your forced text-to-speech now. I'll be back soon. The only thing I kept thinking, oh, I'll transition to Rim mode and play some Rim mode for a bit, but we're on the old update, and I don't want to move my save backwards. So, right. See you later, chat.